Hello everyone, today is a Wednesday, it is 10 a.m., January 31st, a Friday. Welcome to another episode of Crypto Wars. I have not been making content recently, and I have not been posting a lot to the internet, and I'm just really busy. And I've been doing stuff in the real world, you know? Let's take a second to recognize the real world capabilities, you know? I think we all get lost in the internet too much, even myself, I use it too much, just on it too much. It's not real life synergy, okay? That's where I stand in the internet and content creation space. As you can see, I'm not taking it. I'm in a white t-shirt, my hair's all fucked up. I realize that I think that real world business versus content creation is more productive, and it's just more fulfilling, and it's more enjoyable. So I enjoy my life much more being in the real world, doing real world things, than sitting behind a computer. No matter what it be, just talking, doesn't matter. So what I'm getting at is, all right, Centric update. So Centric Blockchain Networks LLC is a education and networking center gravitated towards Bitcoin and blockchain education, basically. So what we're creating is an environment where people can learn from each other and create synergy and development around the space, because that's what is in high demand right now. Right now, we need development around the technology. We don't need the technology per se, okay? We realize this technology is important. You know, this is where this paradigm shift came in, and the speculators came in, and the speculators are going to lose just like they did in 2001, but it's going to fuel the development around the technology. See, when people look at 2001 and they look at the bubble, they think about how much money they lost in 2001. But in reality, they don't think about how much money they made because of the innovation of the internet. You think about the business and all the production and all the and connectivity that came from the internet. Really, that's what created our economic boom. You know, people look at, oh, there was this bust in 2001 where everyone gambled and lost money. The speculators lost money, but the internet actually fueled what we have today as an economic boom. Okay, but the problem is that it's economically driven through fantasy, and that's why you're having this cryptocurrency boom, because people are realizing that the currency is destroying our economic system because it's just an incorrect ledger, and when the numbers don't add up, you get chaos, you get crisis. Okay, and right now we're seeing a lot of volatility across all markets, all marketplaces, and you're going to expect that to continue as things get bigger. You know, as the world tries to scale. And we're trying to think about, okay, we need to scale our economy and things. We need to think about what currency we're going to use. We need to actually make adjustments, or it all is going to fall apart, which it probably will. And then something new will build off of that. So with Centric, what we are creating is an environment of synergy, an environment of thought gravitated towards blockchain technology. Now, how do we monetize this stuff? How do we monetize our energy? We offer a Bitshares user-issued asset that acts as a credit. It's called a cryptic credit, okay? This user-issued asset is called a cryptic credit. And every time you show up to a Centric event, and you have a Bitshares wallet, and you show up, you show your face, you get a cryptic credit. Okay, and that cryptic credit could be used towards your membership. Also, if you get enough cryptic credits, you can get reimbursed for gift cards or, store credits elsewhere. Also, at some point, these credits could be accepted locally at stores, and also local store credits will be implementing for other small businesses, and that will be a service that we offer, is giving small businesses the user-issued asset, showing them how to navigate through the Bitshares interface. All it is software navigation, That's basically what I'm providing as a service, which is actually very valid, because if people can offer credits for their business, all of a sudden they're cutting down on their transaction fee costs through the Bitshares networks, because Bitshares has zero cost. There's no transaction fees. So it's actually much more sound than Bitcoin. And also, if you use things like BlockPay, which has currently been building a lot, BlockPay is gravitated towards around Bitshares, and it's for payment processing. So I'm interested to take a look at BlockPay and other things. So when you look at offering services like offering credit, basically what I'm providing to small businesses is a line of credit that they issue out, so they don't even have to pay anyone back. Okay, they basically have a $200 line of credit they can issue out to, or $1,000 million line they can issue out to their customers, but at the same time they have to be able to keep up with that production, otherwise it becomes free goods, you see. So you have to also educate them with the economics of the amount of credit they should give to people. But I mean, this is something we've never seen before, so. And when you put it on a micro level and not so macro, I think it's much more sound, because when you look at like user issued assets, okay, for example, you have cryptic credits. Wegmans, for example, is in Rochester, okay? If Wegmans had a coin or whatever, you could all of a sudden, they accept cryptic credits, they accept, this massage place, they accept this chiropractor business, they accept all these small businesses, right, locally. So all of a sudden, all these small businesses have their own credit through a token. And then all of a sudden, you have a list of credits. You can go out and use these credits at your store. You see what I mean? Locally. So all of a sudden, you have all the money you need to buy your goods. And you have all through lines of credit that are individually for separate stores that could actually be accepted at different stores. But the thing is also, it needs to be community driven, and it has to be economically sound, the economical soundness of it. Because you could have people that are just issuing tokens. You need to understand the transparency of the chains. And that gets a little complex when I think about it. You have to be careful about two different businesses accepting two different tokens. They have to understand that this person can't just issue out their own tokens. So, inflationary type stuff. They have to kind of have set thing, and that you can do. You don't even have to do contracts with that, because it's all transparent. So if the Bitshares network's completely transparent, if someone's cheating you, you could see it on their page and stuff, because they only can issue out their token through a channel. So the transparency gives that sort of contract and that binding agreement. I'm just really excited about this idea. I want to share it to the community, especially the Steam community. I've been posting a lot on Steam. I don't know. I just see the space being very treacherous right now. It's like posting to Steam, and it's like, I don't want to talk about crypto for a little bit. I've been doing so much real world stuff. It's like, this feels way better. It feels way more fulfilling. So, but times I do feel the need to give an update. Maybe once every like 30 days, whatever. But as far as this crypto-centric thing, I think it's a cool idea. I think it's actually giving the people software that they could use in their small businesses, okay? Like, I think a big thing that's fucked up is, even in my own brain, you're thinking about all these online applications that are going to roll out, like user-based shit that's like, I'm going to game with it, I'm going to use this for like an Uber app, I don't know, like some sort of online Uber, or whatever, some sort of online app, right? But if you take crypto and you make it more for like small business owners, like, the 99%, right? You give it to the masses, not the select few people, which is the hardcore development, which might become very far down the road. I think that the development has to catch up with the technology like tenfold. See, so because the technology is so much more advanced than people can build around. It's just a time thing. It's not a matter of mankind if we can figure this out. It's just like, all right, we gotta. Now there has to be use case, okay? And I think things like credit make way more sense than volatile assets. Like, I don't see companies accepting any volatile asset. I see softwares rolling out like Bitshares, and then stuff like lines of credit for companies. Why would they use a volatile asset in form of trade? I mean, this volatile. When you look at like I mean, it's ridiculous, and you know, the true volatility and the true growth will come thanks to like Bitshares, for example. Bitshares actually has a very sound, you know, utility of the token, like, and it actually has a lot of value too because you have to burn the token basically to make your own asset. So, I mean, Bitshares is a very cool thing. It's extremely volatile though. I think it's just very high liquidity, which actually is a good thing. But you just gotta be able to not buy it when it's like pumping, you know. So, and that's what's so dangerous right now is that people don't realize that when I say volatility, I'm not saying like weeks or days of, you know, these type of gains or movements. I mean like months and years, and that they can return to a very worthless position because crypto's it's access to software. You know, these tokens are just keys to the software, so they're only so valuable in the sense like I'm just accessing a platform that I can use as a ledger, which small businesses for the user issued asset is freaking phenomenal. So I'm excited about it. All right, well that's what I got to say today. I'll see you guys in a very not a long time, but I don't know, man. I'm just tired. I'm really tired today. Peace.